how can friendship ruin your relationship? So in today's podcast, Cece and I, we're going to talk about some of the boundaries or some of the ways you can prevent your friendship from getting in the way of your relationship. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Hey, Blissful friends, welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of the Blissology podcast. I am your host, Cece, and I'm joined by my husband.
Hey everyone, this is Will, and welcome back to another episode of this wonderful podcast. If this is your first time with us, please remember to subscribe and click on the notification bell so you can be notified when we put out new videos. This is a weekly podcast, and in this podcast, Cece and I, we talk about...
Ooh, I like how you say it. Look at this, you know? He's learning. He's learning. You gotta teach them right, you know? On this podcast, we talk about love, family, relationships. That's pretty much it. I was going to add more stuff, but I know my husband's going to be like, no, don't add any more stuff because that's all we talk about here. And our vlogs, you know, and that too. So, yes. As you guys know, before we get into the topic of the day, we like to go into our blissful moment. I know you asked me earlier, babe, do you have a blissful moment? It's been raining all week. The road has been really wet.
It has.
I've been going to a lot of training.
She has.
I'm grateful.
She is.
Yes. That was funny.
I'm agreeing with everything.
But
she has been and she is, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we actually shifting into a new mindset, you know, with our businesses. And I did have a blissful moment, but I'm trying to find it.
I'm sure it's there. It'll come up. Hopefully not at the end of the podcast. Because I'll be wrapping up.
Do you have a blissful moment?
Did I have a blissful moment? Well, the kids was happy to see me pick them up the other day from school because I don't normally pick them up. And the car showed up. They're like, is that...
You should tell them what happened. You should tell them what happened. So we're going to tell you guys what happened to me last Thursday.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. So for the ladies who carries more than one bag.
Yes.
Or purses.
Yes.
Make sure you put your car keys in the right one. Not the one you're going to put in the trunk. And put it in the trunk and close the trunk and then try to go open the door and realize that the bag you just put in the trunk has your car key in it. And you are about 20 miles away from where you're supposed to pick up your kids.
Yes.
You have 30 minutes.
And what do? The first person I called was my husband. I was like, babe.
Well, who else could you call?
I would have called my dad. My dad's a lot further.
Yeah, I can get there a lot quicker. And listen, you call your husband first, which you did the right thing. But anyway, yeah, she called me and I dropped everything. I ran to go get the kids. Mind you, it was raining like crazy, but I got to the kids and the kids were shocked that I showed up because they expected mommy to show up.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Before he got the kids, he stopped by the house and get the spare key.
I need to get the spare key.
And boy, let me tell you, when I came home earlier that day, the house was upside down because he didn't remember where he put the spare key. And I'm like, did we got robbed or something? Because drawers
I had 5
are
minutes to find the key and get back on the road. So what do you expect? I didn't have time to nicely put things where they were. I just need to get it. And the craziness was the first place that I went in where I knew I had it there, but I forgot one minor detail. I got a little paranoid a few months back. I ordered a little box to put my keys in because I saw a news report that says thieves can actually come and scan your keys and get in your car and draw it off. So I bought a little box to store the keys in, but it can only hold 2 sets of keys. But I have 2 sets of spare keys.
Yeah, 4 keys all together.
The spare ones, I put them in an aluminum foil, wrap them up, and stick them in a drawer. I completely forgot. I got to the house. I went to the place where I know the key should be. I opened that drawer.
And he called me and asked me, did I remove anything?
I
put the blame in.
The thing wrapped up in aluminum foil was there, but I wasn't thinking that's where I put them. It's been months.
It's been a good while. He sure
kind
did.
Of turned the house upside down.
Yes.
But, I found the keys. I got the kids. I got to her,
To my
got
office.
her in the car,
Yeah.
gave her the kids, and go back to work. I did all that in less than 2 hours.
You did. You did. And my office is not that close to your.
You're about 20 miles away from the kids.
I was.
Yeah, so
I was.
I guess I was blissful. I became the superhero who saved
you
the
were
day.
you were. Although some of the agents were like, "Hey, why don't you call Geico and see if Geico can
Roadside
come
assistant?
and help
There's
you?"
no way. It would have taken hours before they show up.
Yeah,
And you had to pick up the kids. That wouldn't work.
that wouldn't work.
No.
That wouldn't work.
If that was early in the morning, yeah, I would have said call roadside assistant and wait for them.
For 2 hours.
But yeah, she had 30 minutes from where she was to get to the school. And there's no way that would work.
That was
On
insane.
top
I
of
was
that,
like,
they'll have to coordinate with a locksmith.
right. True. I was like, what was I thinking? And mind you, the whole morning, I felt like it was like, okay, Cece, let's find the keys. And for some reason, I'm like, okay, God, you don't want me to get on the road? Because I just couldn't. I had no idea where I put the keys yesterday. The day before. And I'm like, wait a minute.
And I have
Time
a
is
very
moving.
specific place for us to put keys. I don't know why she didn't put the keys there when she got home yesterday. See, I'm a routine type of person. I tend to do the same thing the same way because it makes it.
Well, here's what happened, baby. Here's what happened. What happened was, when you're guilty, you're guilty. You try to like cover it up. I'm guilty. I'm gonna take this one.
So let me hear that.
Nothing. I'm guilty. That's it.
My big ask from her is
I changed purse. That was my.
Don't put your computer bag in the trunk. Just take it inside the car with you. This way, if you have an accident, put the keys in there.
I feel like it's for safety purpose. Like if I go to the store, if I stop by somewhere, Publix or, Chick-fil-A or whatever, I have my laptop bag in the trunk where no one can't see it. But if it's in the front seat or in the back seat, it's visible. People will see it in the trunk, in the car. But if it's in the trunk, which I've done all the time. It's just like, it's
so
like.
this was just a matter of time before she
It's
locked
just
the keys
a
inside
matter
the
of
car.
time. It's just a matter of time. But I'm glad you came to my rescue. Although if I did call my dad, I'm sure he would have made it, there too. Maybe a couple hours later.
Your dad drives like crazy fast. I don't know if you should have called him during that. Well, he couldn't get inside the house.
True. You're right. You're right, babe. You're right.
Anyway.
So yes, this is our blissful moment. Yes, he's my superhero.
Yeah.
For that day, he was really good. So he
Saved
helped
the
out.
day.
So he saved the day.
So
And
thank you to my staff as well. They were able to hold the brains running while I was gone.
Yeah, and you know what? My coach was like, "Sissy, if you want to take my car to go get the girls,
But how would you get in the house to get your spare key?
I wouldn't. I would just drive back and still wait for you to bring the car."
Yeah, none of those would have been like.
No, but it would have been like, I would bring the girls back and wait in the office until you come and bring the key. Maybe when you get off work, until you bring the spare key to unlock the car while we all go home together. That's what we're thinking. If this was the case. But I'm glad that you were able to help. I'm glad that you came to my rescue.
I get paid now.
Yeah, you Shrek.
But that was my blissful moment. I saved the day.
You saved the day. You saved the day. Yes, you did. But thank you. Yes. Yeah. So now let's get back into our topic, guys. Yes.
Friendship could be good, bad, relationship destroying things, or relationship making.
Yeah.
And so how can friendship potentially ruin your relationship?
Let me make sure that I give credit to this person that actually give me this topic to discuss was my dad.
Your dad?
My dad was like, I want you to have a topic about this
friends and relationship.
In marriage, especially in marriage, how friends can really mess up your marriage.
But that's not always the case, though, because it's always good to have.
My dad, what are you going through? But yes, and there's a lot of people out there who are actually going through that right now.
Friends.
A lot of people. A lot. Yes.
Well, I'm a strong believer. You gotta have some friends.
Well, I'm kind of glad we don't have friends.
Oh, we have people we talk to.
We have people that we talk to, but as far as having friends where I'm going out hanging like girls' night out and things like that. I mean, it's good to have that,
we're unusual people.
We don't have that. We hang out together. Sometimes I'm like, babe, we need other people in all we do is spend time together, which is good. But
listen, having some good friends around, it's a good thing. It gives you people to socialize with, because sometimes you'll probably get tired of your spouse and other people to maybe consult for advice.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Right? Absolutely. I think we should definitely have someone in our lives to engage.
And keep some variety. Your spouse's best friend does not need to be your best friend either. You know, you can have your own bestie.
Listen,
although I don't have one, but
listen, no, I don't. I highly disagree when it comes to having you have a friend that's your best friend, and also
should get me a best friend.
I'm your best friend.
You don't have to be my best friend. I should get me a best friend outside, away from you, someone different.
Okay.
I can vent to when you do stuff.
I definitely agree when they say, it's okay to have friends like in your marriage as a couple. It's okay to have healthy friendship, right? But at the same time, you really need to be careful. Let's just say, for example, if you were a friend with someone for childhood friend, mm-hmm. You are with this person, you guys have a lot of connection together. You guys are best friends in a way.
Especially if that friends is the opposite sex of you, right?
Yeah, where you going with this, baby? Go ahead, keep going. Keep going.
I'm saying, there's relationship where the moment that you get in that relationship, your spouse or your partner mm-hmm. start disliking this person for the sole reason that they're almost like their competition because they are of the opposite sex of you are. So and
but how do we know how this is really impacting
causing issues? So here's some of the ways you can tell if that friend mm-hmm. is gonna be an issue. Say, for instance, your spouse or your partner thinks that friend has issues or that friend is toxic. So that's one thing. Now, if your spouse have negative feelings towards or about that friend, mm-hmm. you cannot ignore it.
You cannot ignore it. That's something.
You cannot, because remember, your spouse is obviously the person you've committed your life to.
Right.
And if they're not good with this person, you have to face it. Find mm-hmm. out why. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's valid reason why. Because, when you're friend with someone for so long, there's certain things that you've come to tolerate, right? They can have their own bad behaviors, but it becomes the norm for you. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it takes someone from the outside to come in and see this is not normal. Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially when that person makes it a point to take advantage of you.
Yeah.
Use you.
Yeah.
Cause you to do stuff that you shouldn't be doing.
Right.
Takes you to places that you have no business being. Maybe make you invest in stuff that only benefits them,
not you. Yeah.
Right. So when your spouse have some concern, mm-hmm, you have to look into it. Mm-hmm. Sit and maybe discuss with your spouse or your partner. Tell me where these concerns are coming from.
Yeah. Tell your partner, explain to them why they dislike your friend, and talk about how you can handle the relationship, right?
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, if you know why you have that relationship with that friend, mm-hmm. maybe you can start correcting it, or maybe you can start moving away from this friend.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it may take your partner to help you see this person's not really your friend.
Right. An outsider.
They're just milking you. And some friends do. They'll just milk you.
Yeah. And
some of us, we some of us value relationship, which means if we've had someone in our lives for so long, mm-hmm. we want to do whatever we can to keep this person, because we've created this bond,
right?
That we feel like it's this person, wherever to not be in our lives, we feel like we're missing something.
Sure.
And that causes us to tolerate a lot of this craziness.
That is so true. That is so true, because you have to learn to let go. If someone is not good in your life,
yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying don't ever reach out to that person, right? But I feel like sometimes you know, some people mindset never change. If they were in high school, they were like this toxic friends and they always want to go out and drink and do like crazy stuff.
It's good to have fun though.
It's good to have fun, but
with a limit.
With a limit, especially when you have a spouse, especially when you are in a relationship, you know, it's definitely important, especially when it comes to, because you don't want to have conflict in your marriage.
No, you don't. And one thing you have to avoid, and if you have a BFF, because sometimes we tend to want to defend our friend, right? The wife is, or the spouse or the husband is the newcomer. They don't understand this person like you do. So when they bring up the concern, you already put up your defense on, and you're putting up a fight for this person to prove that they're not who your spouse or your partner thinks they are.
That is so true.
Don't do this.
Yeah.
Sit and listen.
Yeah.
And be open-minded, because they can help you see things that you may not have seen.
Right. And I think it's definitely important too to set boundaries. If your spouse is telling you about this person and you don't see, you probably like blindsided by it. You're like, man, I don't think he's like that or she's like that. I think you see the way you see her is so different. She's not that type of girl. Like I'm talking about, you know, if it was my best friend and you're like, babe, I don't like this girl for you. She's just very like a bad example, whatever. And I'm like, yo, that's my girl.
Some stuff that
she's not like that. She's very cool. And then now here's the conflict between you and I and my best friend in the middle. So you have to decide. You gotta pick your battles, right? Yeah. And I think the best one needs to understand too. Hey, listen, you have more. I'm more now. I'm married to this person. I'm engaged or whatever it is to this person. So therefore, I'm not going to neglect you, but at the same time, I need to give him more, you know, like the importance, what he's telling me, what he's saying to me. I mean, I see it, but then I have to make sure that I understand what he's telling me.
And remember, your partner, your spouse is not always right. Mm-hmm. They may think your friend is toxic because of some bias on their part. And sometimes you can help them see this person isn't. But listen first. Listen and evaluate what they're saying. Because sometimes there could be truth in it. And sometimes it could just be made up stuff.
Or sometimes you just don't like this person.
And sometimes they just don't.
Yeah, because there's people that I know where they're like, man, I just can't stand so-and-so. I know he's your friend. Like there's a lot of girls that I know, I had friends in the past, okay? Once I got married, my husband was like, you're not having any friends. That's it.
I didn't say that.
The only friends you're going to have is me, the kids, your parents, your brother, and our family, and that's it. You only allowed to have networking friends. Business friend.
I never said that.
So.
I never did.
He never did.
I'm not that kind of person. Well, I'm not the type who's always out there with. Yes, I have some people that I may go hang out with, but to say besties that we're constantly hanging out, no. I mean, I'm good with people. I like to socialize. If we're at a place we're gonna socialize, we're gonna talk. We're gonna hang out and have a good time.
Yeah.
But don't expect it gonna happen every weekend or every other week, so it becomes which it's important to have that though. It's just not me.
Yeah, same here. Yeah. I actually read something about our sign where they're actually saying that Capricorns are not really into friends. They're really into like their business. They're really into like, they're very homebody. Sometimes I'm like, babe, we need to get out there and find friends, okay?
Listen, there's some dramas that I don't need.
But in a way that I'm joking, because there's a lot of craziness out there. I don't know if you're the friend that you friend with may probably gonna try to get with your woman. You know, you don't know what's going on in their mind, or I don't know if my friend is gonna try to get in between our marriage because of what she sees, and she's like trying to break us apart.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want you to hate that friend, and before you think the friend is toxic, and you start giving me a hard time. But another thing that's important,
sure.
Sometimes it may be your friend who does not approve that relationship. And they're the ones who think your wife or your partner is toxic.
That is so true. Yes.
Or sometimes it's the adjustment from being a single person Now you no longer have all your time for them. You got most of your time is going towards that person you've gotten with, either married to or in a relationship with. Yeah. And you're seeing that friend less and less. And they start thinking that person's a problem. Your partner is causing you not to spend as much time with them.
I actually was watching Married at First Sight last weekend. I binge watched this show. I don't have time during the week, guys. I'm super, super busy with training. Y'all know I'm a realtor. I'm still in that early phase, right? Mm-hmm. But on the weekend, I'm going to put this headset on and binge watch like all the episodes that I missed the last 4 weeks or whatever. So therefore, here's the thing. There's this girl. She's married, of course, right? To this guy.
She's got to be BFF.
But now here's the problem. The husband wants her home every weekend, all the time. She's like, but I had friends prior of us got together, prior of us got married. Mm-hmm. So now here's the problem. I want to hang out with my friends. I want to hang out every weekends with my friends.
Then why get married? Just stay with your friends.
And the husband is like, what about me? What if I want to go out with you on the weekends? Well, she's like, no, we can't go out on the weekends because we are together during the week. So therefore, I need my weekends for my girls. She likes to go to clubs. She likes to do things with her girlfriends. So therefore, she's like, and now it's like a problem. It's like there's a lot going on between them two. And I liked them in the beginning. Actually, I kind of sort of liked them in the beginning because.
Isn't that the show that gives him like 6-8 weeks?
Yeah.
I think he's going to go and says.
I think it's way too soft. The guy is 7 feet tall. But it doesn't, 7 feet tall, but hunched over in a way.
So he's so tall that he's not straight?
Right. And he's like so tall, but like a tall teddy bear because it's so soft and so emotional.
So then the girl's not going to stay with him?
Because she's not. I clearly feel like sometimes when you marry someone, you got to set boundaries. You got girlfriends, you used to hang out on the weekends. Maybe once a month we can do a girl's night or whatever. Where your husband is like, I'm going out with my in-laws or my brother-in-law or my boys or whatever.
Yeah.
Trust and believe that he's going to be with his boys for real.
Oh, just let him be wild.
I don't know about that. Then why did you marry? If you want to be, then what's the point of marrying?
You're not there. You're with your buddies. I'm with my buddies, so I can do whatever I want.
No, because you have a ring in your finger, so therefore you need to behave a certain way.
No, don't listen to me. That's
okay. For someone who's been married for 13 years, okay. But here's the thing. It's just, to me, I feel like when you married someone, there's a lot of stuff you got to let your friends know. Hey, listen, you can't call me at 1 o'clock in the morning anymore. Or we can't hang out on the weekend anymore. I mean, I haven't been out with girlfriends while we married. Like, cause it hasn't been like a day where I'm like, okay. The only person that I've been out with is my sister-in-law, where from time to time we're like, okay, let's set a date where we just go and hang out.
Lunch.
Something. Lunch. Or we just double date with my brother and my sister-in-law, and then we just go out and eat.
Which we gotta do on those soon, I think.
But it's really something that we all need to understand, that boundaries are so important in your marriage. You're not single anymore.
Yeah. So if your friend don't approve your
marriage,
your marriage or your relationship, you gotta help them understand that things have changed.
Is it jealousy though?
Well, sometimes it's jealousy.
Okay.
Sometimes it feels like you're being taken away from them. There's sometimes you have friends that keeps you around because you complete them. You're not in a relationship with them besides friendship, but it almost seems you were in a relationship with them that's more than friendship.
Of course.
So when someone else comes in, it disrupts the way things were.
Right.
And some people can't handle this. But when you get in a relationship with someone and your friend is tripping, you got to set them right.
Yeah.
Things have changed. Mm-hmm. Someone else. Now, if this person is really your friend, they'll do their best to understand, hey, now you have someone in your life. Yes, I'm not saying you're not my friends anymore, but there's certain things that we used to do.
Right.
But at the same time, your friend can still be right, because sometimes there's relationship we get in that we don't need to be in. So just like I said earlier, take a listen to your partner if they have issues with your friend, but still listen to your friend as to where that concern is coming from.
Right.
Because they could be valid concern that could save your life, especially if you're just dating this person and maybe thinking about getting serious and your friend is showing some concern. Take a listen to this concern.
Yes.
And be open-minded, because they can help you see things that you couldn't see.
Yes, so true.
Because again, there's relationships that people get in. If they had a friend who could help them see, you know what? That person is not good for you.
Right. I don't think you guys are
that
good fit.
probably would have saved them.
And I don't think you guys are a good fit. I don't think you guys should be.
And obviously details out why and so forth. Take some time with your friends and go find out what's going on. Because they may know what this person did prior.
Yeah. Yeah, they may know. Especially, here's the thing too, especially when you have like a guy friend, like you're the girl, and then you have a guy friend who's like, hey, listen. And Robert is like, hey, listen, Cece, I don't think Will is the right man for you. I'm like, okay, Robert, what's going on? Or Robert is like, there's some stuff that I've seen, when they go to boys club or whatever it is, with a lot of stuff happen there.
A man can have a good time. I'm talking about things that they've done. If the man's been to a strip club, your friends know, that's okay. It's not like he hangs out there all the time. It's not he's got baby mamas there. No.
It's not okay. Here's my saying. It's not okay. Whether if you married or you are.
Oh, no, I'm talking about before they got
married. I mean, before that's, I still need to know. Did you guys went home together? Like, what happened? If Robert come and tell me y'all went home together, things happened, then how come you didn't tell me about it?
Well, you didn't ask.
Okay, baby. Seriously, so we're going?
Well, listen, when you get nervous, you have to be honest. If someone's hiding something, if say we opening up with each other and someone didn't tell you something, there could be reasons. So, yes, listen to your friend and obviously wait to see if that comes up, or maybe ask your partner about it. But it's important to listen.
It is important.
Your friend can have information that
you don't have,
or information that they know that caused them to not approve that relationship.
Right.
So don't dismiss it.
Yes. Yes.
And when you have friends that are concerned, whether it's a valid concern or a frivolous concern, it could be a deal breaker for your relationship.
True.
So again, don't ignore it. Address it. Find out what the root cause is, or what the source is that's causing them to feel this way. If it's something you need to investigate further about your potential partner for life, then investigate it and then make sense. Now, if there's no bearing to that, whatever concern your friend has, then you got to help your friend understand that they need to relax. And you're with this person for good.
Right.
And if they're really a friend, they should understand that. If they're not, then maybe you need to get away from this person.
Right. I agree.
Because they're bound to get in your relationship and they're bound to screw it up for you. But listen. Because friends sometimes can save you.
And friends sometimes can ruin it for you too.
Oh, yeah, they can.
There's in most cases, a lot of friends have destroyed marriages. In most cases, a lot of friends were like, they have this thing in their heart, man, it should have been me.
Well, yeah, some friends thinks that they should be the spouse.
Right, they should be the spouse. Or it should be like, oh, I should have been in this relationship with this guy or whatever. And then sometimes, because theirs was pretty bad, so therefore they're going to try to find a way to destroy yours.
Oh, that's really not your friend. That if someone's finding ways to literally destroy your relationship, you need to kick this person as far away from you as you can. There's those friends that, because they've been with you for so long, they play the role of your significant other. Every decision you make, you got to run it by them.
True.
You plan on buying a house with your wife, you got to bring the friend along so you can get their opinion. That's bad. So, in friends like this, when they think
friends shouldn't be involved in this.
Listen, there are friends that thinks that they're like the key person in your life. Any decisions you're making. Yeah. And sometimes it's over the years you've put them in that role. Because some people are so close to their friends that whatever they're doing, they want their friend's opinion.
Well, I feel like sometimes if a friend is like, know that, okay, I'm married and there's things that we used to talk about, I'm not going to share them with you. I will let you know when it happened. Right. But it does happen though, where the friend is like, oh, I'm just now finding out. Y'all know those friends. You just now telling me that you bought a house. You just now telling me that you guys went somewhere. Yeah, that's friend that's very demanding of, you gotta let me know. You gotta fill me in. What's going on in your marriage? What's going on? Girl.
Good thing I don't have those friends because I'll have problems with that.
Good thing I don't have those friends.
I would have problems with that.
I would have problem with that too.
But that's not to say that it's not good to have friends that you can possibly consult with. And I'd say if you have a friend you're going to consult with, maybe I'm looking to surprise my wife with something and I'm not quite sure where to get it, or maybe I need a second opinion.
Yeah, that's different.
You can have a friend that say, listen, I'm looking to do this. What do you think?
Like a guy friend though.
Or a girlfriend, it could be.
No, sir.
But it's okay
I'm just saying.
It's okay to have friends you consult with. And it's okay to have friends sometimes you may reach out to for advice. Now, when it comes to relationship advice, but I'd say never take advice from a friend who's not in a relationship, because that
is not married.
Or is not married if you're married. So know which friends you're going to get relationship advice from. But you may have friends that you get financial advice from, maybe health advice from. Social advice.
Where the party
from.
at?
Yeah, you can have, and it's okay to have those friends, because believe me, none of us know everything. And sometimes we need people to help us with things. Sometimes that's your spouse, but even your spouse doesn't know everything. So sometimes you may have friends that you consult with for things like this. But remember, there are relationship decisions. Right? Which house we're buying, which car we're buying, where the kids are going to go to school. Things that are like relationship stuff. Discuss that with your spouse first.
Yes.
Because when your spouse find out that your friend know before they dead, that could be a problem.
That will be a problem.
But the problem with the friends would be, because there are certain friends, they expect you, who's in the relationship, to discuss those things with them first.
Yes.
They need to know that the spouse role or the partner role is not theirs. It may have been while you were single, but now you're no longer single. There's someone else in your life that occupies a space that's much more important than theirs. Well, friendship is important.
But being with someone is a lot more important.
It's more important. And there are certain things that's only meant to be discussed with the person that you are with. And that friend needs to understand that. But it's on you to help that friend understand that. And if they don't, maybe you need to get them away. So
find another one.
Listen, you find this relationship you get, and not every friends you have will be able to be close to you,
right? In
that relationship, there's some people that are just not meant to be friend with someone who's in a relationship because they have issues with it.
Yeah, there's like single friends, right? And there's some people are like, we always see you as that single friend, as that friend that we hang out at when we were single. We did things while we were younger, but now because things change, it's hard for them to make the change
or adjust to the change.
Adjust to the change.
And this is where you got to learn to remove some of those people in your life. No, I'm not saying that. Bash them.
Listen, removing toxic friendships from your relationship. Because if you want to make this work, let's say you're really into this person and you have a great relationship with this partner, but yet this toxic friend
keep nagging.
At some point, you're going to feel bad because you're like, man, girl, listen, I love you, but we got to find some kind of boundaries or something. If we can't be like we were back then, we're just going to have to, and some friends will be like, really? That's how it is now?
Yeah, that's how it is.
I mean, sometimes it's okay. We're not going to like completely get you out of my life, but then when you think about the relationship that's important to me, if you really love me or love me as a friend, you would stop nagging or stop saying things that's actually hurt me and hurt the relationship that I'm in.
Yeah.
Right?
And this is where, if this is going on with a friend and obviously you haven't found a way to actually make it stop, this is when you need to part ways. And
no, that's actually gonna be hard.
Well,
can you imagine me being friend with someone for so long, and now y'all like, okay?
But you put in a position where it's either you get to be with the person that you love, that you want to live your life with, or you dump this person and be with that friend who would remain friend, right? Many of us, we need a partner, companion, a wife, a husband, a domestic partner to live. And some friends will never be that,
right?
So if you put me in a position where I have to choose, I'm going to choose the person that I want to live the rest of my life with. And yes, that person is going to become my best friend. So don't think that I'm missing out. If I kick you out of my life, I have someone to relax with. But you could be there unless you understand that our relationship is now different.
Yeah.
And if you can't understand this, great, we're good. If you can't understand this, then what do you want me to do? I'm going to be with my wife.
Right.
And you deal with it.
Yeah. So I truly feel like sometimes you got to really let them know it's not that you're a bad person. It's just that it's just not working for me right now.
Yeah.
You know, TD Jake says this best, or I don't know if I heard it from somebody else, where they say that every season that you go through in life,
some people will be left behind.
Yes.
And some new people would come in.
Yes.
And that's it. I mean, not everyone will get to be in your life.
Because when think about these years where you were like, okay, are we still friends with people that we're in high school or college with? Would you even know where they are? You know what I mean? So it's just that
some of them are sitting on.
We're sitting, but we don't really have the contact that we had back then. We just like, okay, we knew you back then. We had a good time, get to know each other, maybe like go to a few parties together, whatever. But now because we are in a different phase of life, we just like, okay, you know, this girl was really nice, was really fun. We had a great time in college. You know, we had a fun time. We hang out together and all that. Now that I'm married or whatever, the phase is different.
It is.
And it's just something you got to get used to.
And one thing I say, when you're running into this type of situation in your relationship, you have to try to address this as quickly as you can for the benefit of your partner. Yeah. Because if you have a toxic friend that's causing issue in the relationship, your partner's suffering.
Sure.
So identify the issue, try to put a fix to it. If you can't fix it, then what's the nicest word? Eliminate it.
It's never easy. It's never easy. Yeah.
But, you know, I'd rather cut you off than let my significant other suffer. So
sure.
If you put me in that position, that's the choice I'm going to make. You'll be let go. Anyway, so, you know, it's knowing what's important in your relationship. And your significant person, whether it's a spouse or a partner, this becomes the most important person in your life. And with your friendship that you're developing with this person, they'll help you make sense of what's going on. Now, that could be with some friends you have, they'll help you get rid of them. And sometimes they'll help you bring some new ones in.
Sure.
Because remember, when you get in a relationship, you come with your own package. The other person comes with their own package. And some of us will have to shed some of them. But at the end of the day, you'll find the bond that will keep everyone together is what you create with the person that you're with. And be the best that you can, but be open-minded.
Yeah.
Both to that person, that partner, that significant other, but also to your friends. Because they can both help you see things that you may not have seen yourself, but be willing to grow because it's something new that you're creating. Sure. Both with that significant other, and also it's going to be something new for your friends because whatever you had with them is changing. And change, you know, is never easy for people.
Never easy.
People would resist change as much as they can because they want to stay where they're comfortable.
Right.
But we all know if you're not willing to do things that are not comfortable, you will never get to be different or experience things that are different. So enjoy your relationship. And we thank you for joining our podcast or listening to our podcast today.
Yes.
On friendship and how they can ruin your relationship, but also bring life to your relationship.
Yes.
It all depends on what you'll let them do.
Right.
But we all have a responsibility to make sure that we do the right thing, both for our friends or those who will no longer be our friends. But more importantly, for that partner or that significant other that we're bringing in our lives.
Right.
So thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah.
Please share this podcast with whomever you think this may be beneficial to.
Yes.
Sissy likes it when you like the podcast.
I do.
She likes it when you subscribe and share it with other people.
Your friends that may need to hear this.
She likes it when you leave comments.
Or your spouse that may needs to hear this, that has a friend that you're trying to like get rid of.
No, a friend that you're trying to make understand.
or get rid of.
Or get rid of it, she said. So again, guys, thank you very much. We appreciate you listening. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share this podcast.
And click on the bell icon.
And click on the bell icon so you can be notified when we put out news videos.
Yes.
So thank you very much. And we will see you next Saturday.